There's an ongoing investigation on the recent UFO sighting in the small city of Joaquin V. Gonzalez in northwestern Argentina. This occurrence was seen by several hundred people. A few minutes later, a power blackout affected an area of 200 square kilometers. The case was reported by several Argentinian newspapers and websites. However, the most thorough investigation so far was published by Mercedes Casas of the organization OVNI Salta, UFOs in Salta. Salta is a province in northern Argentina bordering Bolivia and Chile, where the town of Joaquin V. Gonzalez, population 20,000, is located. The second key spot in the trajectory of the UFO is the electric power plant, dam, and reservoir of El Tunal in the neighboring area of Metan, which is where the power outage took place. It is very unusual to witness the apparent interaction between a UFO and the turbines just prior to a blackout. This reconstruction of the trajectory of the UFO shows the approximate path of the flying object. Here are the facts in chronological order. It was shortly after 1 a.m. on Thursday, November 26, when crowds of people were outdoors trying to weather out a very hot night on the town of Joaquin V. Gonzalez. According to a report prepared by Antonio Galvano, a pilot and local UFO expert, a huge luminous cigar-shaped object appeared in the sky and remained visible for approximately 55 minutes. The UFO was pulsating with red and white flashing lights, but no sound was heard. It then moved in a southwesterly direction towards the electric power plant of El Tunal, which is about 35 kilometers away from the town of J.V. Gonzalez. It was at this point that a total power blackout hit the town. The area affected was about 200 square kilometers. The power outage lasted for about 12 hours, and the telephone lines were also dead. The local power company, Empresa de Electricidad de Salta, known as EDESA, had no immediate explanation for the blackout. On the following day, they found a burned-out turbine. According to Galvano, it was practically melted, and they had no explanation for the damaged appliance. In another spot, north of J.V. Gonzalez, called Las Lajitas, Galvano reported that a row of 5 power poles had their tops totally burned out and the cables cut. The report was published on several American websites as well, but never hit the US mainstream media. The most recent update to the story comes from Mercedes Casas of OVNI Salta, who located a bookseller from Tucumán who was fishing with friends on the lake next to the power station during the incident. According to this witness, they suddenly noticed a whitish or yellow light all around them. They looked up and noticed a huge object hovering over the turbines and emitting a low-frequency rumble. He estimated the UFO had a length of between 200 and 300 meters. He then witnessed the object throwing beams over the turbines and the turbines throwing beams back to the UFO. This process lasted a few minutes, and then the UFO made a big flash and left the area at great speed. This was precisely when the power blackout occurred. When they drove to El Tunal a few minutes later, they noticed the whole town was in shock. Finally, we have a report published in the local newspaper Diario Popular on Monday, December 21st about a new sighting in broad daylight of another cigar-shaped object over Joaquin V. Gonzalez, which also affected cell phones. The newspaper quoted Silvia Perez Simondini, director of the UFO group Visión OVNI and founder of the UFO Museum in Victoria, capital of the province of Entre Rios. Quote, "The phenomenon was recorded on Tuesday the 15th December at 1700 hours and was seen by a considerable segment of the population." End quote. Sylvia added, quote, "Witnesses interviewed by researcher Tony Galvano stated that what they saw on this occasion was identical to the one seen days earlier, but this time without lights."